it was interesting trying to go into homes of people in Argentina just because the culture is so different. A lot of them don't even have screen doors, and so they just like tear rags and hang it for their door as their door, just so that the flies don't come in. So that's interesting. You just walk and you can kind of see into everyone's home, and then when you go in, you just kind of walk through the torn rags. The houses are all very small. They're not a very they don't have a lot of money down there, so the houses are always very small. And usually there's just one room, kind of a central room that's not like the kitchen or a bedroom, where the table will be where they will eat their meals, but also watch TV or talk. So there's no couches. I remember thinking it's so strange that no one has couches and no one has carpet. Just, cement floors and a table in a small little room. But another thing that was interesting was they always have the TV on. So that was one of the original struggles of going in and teaching, trying to ask people to turn off their TVs, and they never turn it off, and that's just a very odd thing. Because usually they'll have conversations with friends, and the TV will just be noise in the background. So I remember when I was first there on the mission and didn't have the courage yet to just always say, or figure out how to say politely, "Can you turn off your TV?" I remember once I was teaching a lady and she kept looking at the TV screen, and it was annoying me so much because I felt like I was giving her this powerful sermon and she wasn't even really listening. So I went and stood right in front of the TV and so that she couldn't watch it. But it was just really interesting, all the nuances of the culture, and a lot of them were not conducive to teaching, just because they like to have the TV on, that as soon as you get there, they want to get up and start serving you mate or cookies or drinks or whatever, and you'll be talking, and then all of a sudden they just get up and leave to go prepare something, and you're just like, "Come back, I don't care." So it was just interesting trying to figure out how to teach these people, how to set it up as you're taught in the lesson to turn off all the TVs and sit down and pray. And it's a very formal thing, and they're a very informal culture. So to do a lot of those formal things which to us is normal was just kind of awkward and uncomfortable for them. So it was interesting at the beginning trying to figure out how to not force them to go by certain things, but also trying to create an environment where they could feel the Spirit and learn. Another really difficult thing for me in the beginning was they don't have the same concept of time that we do. Here we're very much structured, and we make appointments, and we try to be on time, and the White Handbook says, be there 5 minutes, you're representatives of Jesus Christ, and no one wanted to make appointments ever. If we made an appointment, it's because I forced them to pick a time, or I said, "Okay, well, we'll be here at this time," so that I could feel good about making an appointment. But I learned that, any appointment I set up never worked. And they just weren't ever home when we made an appointment. And if I said, "Okay, we'll be there at this time," they'd be like, "Well, if I'm here, I'm here. If I'm not, I'm not." So it's just like, okay. So after about a month of trying to get to everywhere when we said we'd be there, and trying to have a very structured plan, we started learning, me and my companion, that you have to work with them differently. You have to understand their culture. And so I think it's important, because no matter which part of the country or the world you go to, there's going to be different cultural things that tie into how you can do the work, because you have to be able to accustom or tailor the missionary work to fit their needs and their customs. And so it became more of kind of learning and remembering when they're home and when's a good time to stop by. And most of the time just showing up when we felt impressed, or when we were working in the area and we thought, oh, they should be home now. And just kind of showing up. And when we just showed up and they were home, they would, be glad for us to come in. But it was just the appointment setting that they didn't like and never worked. And I remember at first getting really frustrated because, we'd plan every night and make backup plans and backup plans, the backup plans, and then they're never working. And then just feeling like I'm just walking for 9 hours a day or doing nothing. And but when I let go of trying to follow my schedule so exactly, and I would make a plan, or like a general idea of who I would want to see, maybe the things that we need to teach, or the people that are on our minds that we need to help, and then kind of have a general direction of where I wanted to go through the day, but being willing and open to new possibilities and opportunities. So like if an opportunity opened up, but I like, oh, we had planned to go here, but as this opportunity opened up, I learned to take those opportunities and be flexible. And I think that's when my work started changing a lot, just because I allowed the Spirit to guide me more of who to talk to, who to help. And a lot of times I would find, like, if I was stressed because we had an appointment, but we found a wonderful teaching opportunity, or a new investigator, or met an old investigator that we've been trying to find for a while. But usually the people that we'd been trying to go weren't even home, and we'd go later and they were there, and it just worked out. And so it was learning to trust more on it being the Lord's work, and just allowing, I guess, giving up control, which, just seemed backward to what I've been taught in the MTC. But I think there were good lessons for me to learn. And I think all missionaries realize at some point in their mission that the mission where they go is perfect for them. And I think it's because the Lord wanted me to learn certain things that I had to develop in order to work with the Argentine people.